The next section that we will review is the post section, which is basically the blog section. Post refers to the blogs that we have on the website, if we have a blog section. And if we hover over, we have a few different options here. The first one is all posts, which will take us to the blog section, where all the posts that are drafted or that are published are located. The next one is add new. Basically, we can just click there and then add a new article. The next one is categories, where we basically can create different categories for the articles. And then finally tags, which we can also create similarly to the category section. Let's start with the all posts. If I click here, it's going to take us to the posts that are published or drafted on our WordPress blog. In this section, we can see all the articles and all the different options for each article. If I hover over one of the articles, I see all the options that I have here. I also see the author that created this article, the categories, if there's any, the tags, and finally the date. You may also see some other icons that are not installed on your WordPress installation, and that's normal, that's fine. It's because I have, in this case, a few other plugins that are giving me extra information. That said, let's check this section, which is the main section for publishing or for changing or modifying an article or even deleting it. In this section here, we can start with the edit as a blog editor or edit as a classic editor. Just so that you know, WordPress has changed a few of the options in order to edit a post, but we're going to focus on the classic editor because that's the main one and that's the easiest for most people. We can also click on quick edit, but this is actually, we're not going to use it that much. This is just to change the date quickly instead of entering to the whole article. So here we can change the date, the title, the slug, that is an easy container for the title, and a few other things. We can make it private, we can unpublish it by just clicking on draft or putting pending review. We can also allow comments, allow pings, and then we can click on update to proceed with the changes. Now, if we click on the Edit Classic Editor, we're going to be able to edit the article. Before we explore this section, we will actually start by adding a new article. So let's add a new article either by clicking on Add New here under Posts, or we can click here, or there's also another option here, New, and then you just hover over Post, and let's click here. And here we have our new article. Here we are going to add a title, for instance, sample title in this case. And then here we are going to be editing and actually creating the article. Now you may see other options, like in this case, use the Divi Builder, and that's depending if you have installed this plugin or theme. But in this case, we're just going to do it the regular way. So this section is very similar to a word processor. We're going to start writing a title, and then we're going to have a brief paragraph. And then if we want to make this title a title, we're going to actually select it, and we can either put bold or click on italic if we want. But actually a title would be better if we use the heading section here. With this, if we click on this triangle, we're going to have a few options here. And usually we use the heading 1 for the most important title of the article, the heading 2 for the next or the subtitle, and so on. So I'm going to use the heading 1 in this case. So now let's add an image. Let's say I want to have my image placed here under the paragraph. I'm just going to click on Add Media, and then here I have a few options. The first one that is by default selected is the Media Library, which is the section that contains all the media, all the pictures, all the images that we have. And you can also click on Upload Files, and then just select files from your computer or drop the files directly, and then click on Insert into Post. However, in this case, I'm going to go into Media Library, and I'm going to select one of the images that I already have, which is going to be this logo. Here on the right hand side I can see a few different some information about this logo, about this image, and you can scroll down, and if you can change some information, for instance the size. If you don't want to use the full size, you can click here, and then you're going to have another option. In this case I'm going to leave it as is, and then you can also add a link if you want, or you can align it. In this case it's aligned right, and I'm going to leave it there for now. You can change the title of the image. This could be good for SEO purposes as well as the alt text, but for now we're going to leave it like that. Now I'm going to click on Insert into Post, and we're going to see that the image was placed on the right hand side. And as you can see, if I click on the image, I'm going to have a few more options. I have the alignment left, align left, which is what I want, but you can also align it in the center or on the right hand side. And then I also can edit it. Let's say that I want to change the size. I'm going to put another size here. I can put a custom size, but in this case, let's say I want to be a smaller image here. Here you can also add a caption, which is usually not needed and not used, but you can always add. Okay. And then I don't want any link to, and so I'm just going to click on update. And so now I have a caption here showing this is a caption. Let's say that I'm ready to see how it is. On the right hand side section we have a few options that we're going to see, and the most important ones are under the publish section. The first one is save draft, which is of course recommended, so I'm just going to click on save draft. And so it's going to save this article, and I'm going to go back to this publish section, and here I have also this preview button, and if I click on the preview button I'm going to have another tab that opens automatically. So it's going to show me how my post or article is looking at this moment. And so here is my article. Let's go back to the other tab. The next one would be really if you are ready to publish this article, just to click on publish, and then the article is going to be published automatically under the blog section. If I click here on publish, I get also a notification here, which is with a green bar, and it says post published. So I can go directly to view post, but usually I prefer to go and right click and open it in a new tab. Here's my article. Here are some of the details of the article, the categories, the date, who created this article, and a brief description of the article. Here I have a few other articles that I have created in the past, and so basically that's how an article works. If we then want to see the article again, we can just click on here and go back to the article. And if I wanted to modify something, I can do it either by clicking here on edit post, or by going back to the article, or just by clicking on the dashboard, going to post, and then selecting the article with Edit Classic Editor. And then we will proceed with the changes. Let's say that I'm adding more information. Okay, and then we just have to click on update, and then the article is going to be updated right away. It's always a good idea to click on the preview changes button in order to see how the changes are happening in real time. The next thing we're going to see here is the format. Normally we're going to leave it as the default standard. Here is the category section. This is if you have many different articles in different categories. You can create directly the categories via this section, or you can just go to the post section and the categories, and then click there to create categories. But let's say that this article is going to be categorized right now in real time here on this page. I'm just going to click on add new category, and it gives me right away a field where I can enter the category. I can also select if there's a parent, in this case the uncategorized, but there's no parent for this one, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to create a section called, let's say, clients. Okay, and then I'm going to click on add new category, and automatically it's going to give me a check mark here. So here I see it, the clients, and I'm gonna get rid of this one, uncategorized. And then if I were to click on update and then go to the blog section and click there, I would see the category here. But since I haven't updated the website, I don't see anything yet. The tag section, it's somehow important if it's actually for search engine optimization, so, and also to make your website more searchable. So we can add here something related to this blog. Let's say this blog is about clients. So I'm going to add keywords or key phrases separated by commas. For instance, let's say I'm going to add the word clients, and then I'm going to add a comma, and then I'm going to add, let's say, clientele, and so on. And you can add two or three words if you want, separated by comma. For instance, good customers, comma, and so on. And then I just click on add, and that's going to help this article be more visible with these tags. The rest is basically, is not so necessary, but depending on the theme that you have installed, you may actually be able to set a featured image. And this featured image is going to show here, usually is going to show when we go to the blog section. In this case, I don't have any image in any article, so none of them is showing any image. But let's try adding an image here. So I'm going to add a featured image by clicking on set featured image. And it takes me again to the media section. And if the image is not inside my media library, if I haven't uploaded yet, I can do so by going to upload files and then select from my computer, or just drag and drop. But in this case, I'm just going to select another image. And I believe the minimum size is 200 pixels by 200 pixels. So I have to make sure that these images that I have here are bigger than that. And so I'm going to select this image that is 2000 by 1098 pixels, and that should work. Let's click on set featured image, and here we go. This is the image that should be showing here once I click on update, and then once I refresh the website. So let's click on update here, and then once we see this green bar, we can either click on post or we can just go here and refresh the page, because this is actually the blog page, or just click on the blog page again. And so as you can see here, from all the articles, only this one has a featured image. And so that's pretty much it. And if we keep scrolling down, we're going to see some options that you may not have depending on your plugins. In this case, I have the Yoast SEO plugin, so probably you won't see this unless you have this plugin set. But if we keep scrolling down, we're going to see a few other things that may be needed to be changed. One of them is under the discussion section, and this is to allow comments, and by default is allowing comments or trackbacks and pingbacks. Now I don't recommend this unless you have a lot of viewers, because most of the times this is going to be spammers, and so we're going to for now get rid of these check marks. This ends this section.